Hello everybody, so I'm going to teach you how to play Battle Aura. Battle Aura is a battle TCG trading card game where you play with spirits like Archangel Michael or Anubis, and you have your Mystic and Hex cards to support your spirits in defeating your opponent. Both players start with 4,000 life aura points, and the goal is to bring your opponent life aura points down to 0, because whoever life point aura goes down to 0 loses. So this is some of the mechanics, or like the field. This is the main deck zone. This is where your deck goes. A deck can minimum have 20 cards in it. The maximum number of cards a deck could have is 30. This is the graveyard. When spirits are destroyed, they go to the graveyard. Or after your Mystic and Hex cards are used, they go to the graveyard. This is the limbo zone. Some cards get sent to the limbo zone because of card effects. Limbo zone is similar to like the remove from play zone. This is your life aura point counter. This helps you keep track of life aura points. You could take something small, I use this, a little crystal, to help you keep track of your life aura points. That way you don't have to use a calculator, but if you want to use a calculator, you could use a calculator. Okay, we talked about the Mystic and Hex zone. This is where your Mystic and Hex cards are played. This Spirit card zone, this is where your spirits are summoned. This is your Fusion Spirit deck zone. This is where your Fusion Spirits go for your Fusion deck. Now, this Fusion Spirit zone is when you summon a Fusion Spirit by meeting the requirements, by like activating like a Hex card, a Mystic card to summon them. The Fusion Spirit would go here. This is the Field Power Bonus zone. This is where like support cards go that help support the spirits on your side of the field, or that offer supportive effects for you during gameplay. Now, the player who goes first draws 5 cards. The player who goes second draws 5 cards too. So both players start off with 5 cards. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so to make things easy, I have 5 cards already drawn. These are the 5 cards I have drawn. So now, the spirit cards, right? They have their name, they have their chakra level. The lowest chakra level is 1, the highest is 12. And the way that gameplay works is that these are the turn orders. You have your awareness phase. That's where you could just observe the game state. Then you have your draw phase. That's when you get to draw. Then you have your strategy phase 1. That's when you get to play your cards. That's where we're like at now in this tutorial. Then you have the battle aura mode phase. That's where you can initiate battle against your opponent. Then you have the strategy phase 2. That's if you want to, play any more Mystic or Hex cards or change any of your monster positions. Monsters have BPA for battle aura points and BGP for battle guard points. So this way would be a spirit and battle aura mode, and sideways would be for battle guard mode. After your strategy phase 2, it is your end phase, and after your end phase, your opponent goes. So like after you draw your 5 cards and you play, when your opponent goes, they would draw, so they would have 6 cards. So let me continue with this tutorial. So now, if a spirit has a chakra level of 4 or lower, you can summon it. You can do 1 normal summon per turn. So you can get 1 normal summon of a spirit per turn, but just that if a spirit has a chakra level of 4 or lower, you can summon them. If a spirit has a chakra level of 5 or 6, you have to sacrifice 1 spirit to play it. If a spirit has a chakra level of 7 or 8, like Archangel Michael does, you need to sacrifice 2 spirits to play it. If a spirit has a chakra level of 9, 10, 11, or 12, you need to sacrifice 3 spirits to play it. Okay, now let me continue with this. Now, besides that, you have the attribute for cards. Archangel Gabriel is light. If we have Anubis right here, you can see that Anubis is dark. Then you have the type of spirit card it is. Archangel Gabriel is an angel. For Anubis, we have Egypt. Then cards have effects. If the card has an effect, you'll see effect right there. This card says when this spirit is sent to the graveyard, you draw 1 card. And then this is the BAP, the Battle Aura points, and this is the BGP, the Battle Guard points. So let me continue as if like I was doing a turn. So since Archangel Michael can't be summoned yet because he needs 2 sacrifices, he'll stay in the hand. You have a hex card. Your hex cards can't be played first turn. They could be played any turn on your turn or your opponent's turn, but they have to be face down for 1 turn first. So I'm gonna set this hex card face down. This card lets me choose one of the following effects. I can make my spirits not be attacked this turn, or all spirits on my side of the field are unaffected by my opponent's mystic and hex cards until the end of the turn. So I'm gonna set this. I'm gonna summon Archangel Jeremiel. So Archangel Jeremiel would go in the spirit card zone, and I'm going to use his effect. When this card is summoned, I could take 1 mystic or hex card out of my deck that says angel on it and add it to the limbo zone. And on my second draw phase, after activating this card, that card goes to my hand. So I'm going to take the angel fusion card out of my deck and put it into the limbo zone because that card says angel on it. Okay. So it's not really much for me to do. At this point, I'm in the strategy phase 1. I can't go into battle phase on my first turn. So none of the, I can activate Host of Heaven magic card. Maybe I'll do that. So we're gonna activate the Host of Heaven magic card. This lets me special summon an angel with 1,500 BP or less from my deck. So you can do as many special summons as you want. As long as you have the resources necessary to do it. Oh, and another thing is that with these fusion cards, there's only 1 fusion spirit zone, so you're only allowed to have 1 fusion spirit and play at a time, not more than 1. I want to prevent OTKs as much as possible. So let me look through my deck and let me special summon a spirit that meets the requirements. I'm gonna special summon. I try to be quick. I don't wanna make this a lengthy tutorial for y'all. So I'm gonna summon. You know what? Let me just be quick. I just summoned Guardian Angel, right? So we have Guardian Angel. Host of Heaven. You could put it in Battle Aura mode or Battle Guard mode. It's up to you. I think I'll leave this spirit in Battle Guard mode. And I'm going to end my turn. So that would be my turn. Now is when my opponent goes. And remember, your opponent is going to start off with 6 cards because they get to draw a card. So they start off with 5 just like you, but then they have 6 cards on their turn. Now, just for tutorial purposes, right? Let's say that the opponent was able to get an Anubis on the field, right? Because this is just for tutorial purposes. Usually they would have to sacrifice 2 spirits to summon this, right? Let's say they got this card on the field somehow. Now, the way that life aura points work, right, is that the difference between 2 spirits BAP, battle aura points, gets subtracted from the life aura points. So if Anubis was to destroy Guardian Angel, no life aura points would be lost because he's in battle guard mode. Just Guardian Angel would go to the graveyard and his effect would activate, which would let you special summon a light spirit in battle aura mode with 1,500 BAP or less. Archangel Jeremiel, if Anubis was to attack it, the difference would go. So let's see, this would mean if Anubis attacked Archangel Jeremiel, I would lose 1,900. So that means that over here in the life aura counter, I would lower it to right here. Okay, to 2,100. Now, but that's if that were to happen. You know, that I wouldn't let that happen, because like if the opponent tried to attack Archangel Jermiel, that's when I would use Saint Michael's Shield, and I would prevent my opponent from attacking my spirits this turn. So then, you know, my opponent would have nothing left to do but to set their Mystic or Hex cards, or maybe activate a Mystic card. And then on my turn, I could draw again. So I would draw again. I have this card, God's Right Hand. When your opponent's spirit attacks, destroy all spirits in Battle Aura mode on your opponent's side of the field. This is a great card. And yeah, the gameplay will pretty much continue. Those are the basic rules. One other thing, yeah, you know what? I'll just leave it at that. I'll make a video getting more into depth about the rules, but this is the basic gameplay, and that's how you play. So like right now, since I have 2 spirits in play, I could sacrifice Archangel Jermiel, and I could sacrifice Guardian Angel to summon Archangel Michael. Now, Archangel Michael has 500 Battle Aura points less than Anubis, but he has an effect that he can target one spirit on my opponent's side of the field and lower its BAP by 500, which would make them both 2,500, and they can do a double KO against each other. So sometimes that's a good play to do if you have Archangel Michael, because Anubis is too strong otherwise to beat if you have the Archangel Michael deck. Or what I would do in this case is I probably wouldn't kill both monsters. I would just set this Hex card, and when my opponent attacks, activates God's Right Hand and destroy all their attack positioned spirits. I mean Battle Aura point spirits. So yeah, that's how you play. And these battles would go back and forth with the spirits until one player's Battle Aura points hit 0. So hopefully that helps. If you have any more questions about the rules, let me know. Like I said, I'll make another video getting more into depth about like the rules, but pretty much this is it. This will give you an idea of how to play this game. It's very similar to like Yu-Gi-Oh! If you played Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's been great talking with y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Oh, the decks are available for pre-order right now, and by the time this video is up, the decks should be available for purchase. One of the last things I had to do was just make a video explaining how to play it, so that way y'all know how to play it when y'all get the game and y'all don't gotta guess and wonder what to do. So it's been great talking with y'all. Peace.